Hi everyone! We are here today to record the next episode of RichAds activity Ads and Grants. My name is Vasily Gamov. I am Chief Marketing Officer at RichAds AdTech Holding. And today I am joined by Taras Sorokin, Financial Analyst at Brofist Company. Brofist is a direct advertiser that works with gambling brands all over the world. In this video, we are going to discuss how to increase CR on each of stage of the flow, how the Brofist team detects fraud and evaluates the quality of traffic, how payback depends on source of traffic, and finally, return of investments will also be discussed. Okay, let's begin. Taras, please tell us more about your experience in affiliate marketing.
Hi, my name is Taras Sorokin, and I'm a financial analyst in Brofist Company. So I have been familiar with the market of iGaming for 5 years, and I've been working on this market for last 3 years. I'm graduated from financial university with a degree of finance and economics, and so I started my career with a job at Gambling Pro. This is an affiliate program, and I was working as affiliate manager. And then I went to my specialty and found Brofist Company, and they give me opportunity to apply my accumulated experience and knowledges in the field of iGaming. So now I do my favorite things, finance and analytics.
Great, thank you for the intro. And let's have a closer look at Brofist.Partners. This is a white label that works on Softswiss infrastructure. Tell us a couple of words about it, how it was founded.
As company, I think we appeared in May 2021 when we started setup of our first brand on white label. So we have decided to develop the field of iGaming, and our first brand Hazard appeared in August 2021. Then in January 2022 we launched Millionaria. So in December 2022 we launched Billy Billion and all our brand on white label. And white label is a great solution for start, in my opinion. And Softswiss platform is very good in this regard. So the process itself is quite simple and fast, and all you need is to be able to buy traffic. As a result, our team currently has 3 brands on white label in our operation. So white label, it's a ready-made solution for like casinos. In other words, I can name it like a template, so you can easily start.
Okay, and I've heard that it's kind of hard to get in touch with Softswiss to launch new projects with them because there are many people who desire to do it. So tell us about your story about how Brofist get in touch with Softswiss. Was it hard to make a deal?
It was easy because we choose this platform not only because they're one of the largest and best on the market, but also because our friends who had also products on this platform for a long time in this market, they connected us, and the process began. So I can say we got to them through the referral system, if it was so, but they don't have it.
And who are the founders of Brofist? How long they are on the market? Tell us a little bit about them, please.
Our founders have been on the gambling market since offline slot machines, so they are very old, but not really old. And they have extensive experience in the field of gambling, gaming, affiliate marketing. So they have many other projects in the field of iGaming, from other operators to providers. So they know many things about this market.
Nice, nice. Glad to hear you have like an experienced founders. That's very important for nowadays business. And let's talk about your product exactly. Brofist has 3 direct offers, and you have mentioned them in the beginning. Can you tell us more about them? Why these 3 were chosen to create?
Now we have 3 brands. You already named it, and me too. It's Desert, Millionaire, and Billy Billion. 2 of them on Curacao and 1 on MGA. and different license give us different opportunities. So like different license, different country, different payment system, different taxes, and each of them is made specially for a certain country, but each of them is carefully refined for all countries that we have, and new countries to diversify risks. You know what I mean? And the name were chosen for a very long time, and I can't even describe this process because there was so many discussions about this topic. It can blow your mind how many time we spend on it.
Okay, I get it. And a lot of companies work with Softswiss right now, as I know. And what are the advantages for affiliates that work with you?
I think in addition to the excellent affiliate managers with whom I in close in touch, because I'm a financial analyst and I'm working with affiliate managers to like train their skills in analytics, and this is an opportunity to earn money for our partners. Also constant support, help in solving issues not related to work only, and also, well, if we talk about the most important thing about income of our partners, our conversion rate, let's name it CR, comes to the rescue, and it allows our partners to earn more money.
Okay, great. In our private talk, you mentioned that you have quite a big CR that you convert very well, your players. And could you tell us a little bit more about it? How many potential players convert to actual players according to your data? And how do you reach these high numbers of retention? And
Mhm.
do they change from country to country? What can affect retention? We would like to know more about this part of experience.
Sure. If we talk about CR from all sources, from all countries, then it's around 5%. So it means that every 20 click equal FTD, so new player. But we don't evaluate in this way. So we look separately on at the conversion rate for each country, for each specific source where we get traffic, because it makes a huge difference. For example, you to understand, the conversion rate from Australia from Facebook can be 1 to 10. So that means 10 clicks, new player. But from a no deposit SEO website in Germany, it can be 1 to 100. So our managers can give you information about conversion rate at the request of a partner, and I will tell you about conversion rate improvement a little bit later when we will analyze our metrics. We will talk about it, I think. And in my opinion, retention is mainly affected by the quality of traffic.
Let's take a step aside and discuss other attractive verticals and offers. What if you're working with desktop antiviruses, mobile software, sweepstakes, VPNs, or financial services? I'm sure you would be interested in new offers. Here is an idea of where to find them. Welcome CPA Roll, a new player on the affiliate network field. This network is made by Rollerad team and specializes in push and pop-up traffic. A field-tested creatives and landing page are included with almost every offer. Here you can see the list of top offers from CPRO with geos, payout models and rates. CPRO works with all mainstream payment solutions: Wire, ACH Deposit, Capitalist, WebMoney, Coins, Pioneer, PayPal. You can request payouts on a daily basis. The collaboration terms can be tailored specifically for you, all for the sake of your comfort and productivity. Their moderation goes through all the details fast. Top performance for advertisers, the best rates and payouts for affiliates are also included. With CPA Roll, nothing is impossible. Check out CPA Roll now! Okay, you've mentioned that Brofist CR allows your partners to earn more. There are three stages where you can affect CR, as I know. And they are install to registration, registration to first deposit, and first deposit to VIP client. So let's talk from the beginning and let's discuss the first stage, install to registration conversion rate. What do you do to increase the number of registrations? Do you add some specific games on the landing page or change the registration flow? What do you do exactly at this part of the funnel?
Mhm. I think it was nothing that this metric like others. This install to registration is strongly influenced by the partner himself. So, who brings us traffic? His creatives, his source, his approaches. If you get inappropriate low quality traffic, then no matter how cool a product you have, the conversion rate will be extremely low, terrible. And on our part, in addition to constant testing of the product by local users, in order to make the product as clear and functional as possible, we try to reduce users' time for registration by requesting only the necessary data from the player so he can immediately start playing without any additional verifications. And landing pages are also a cool tool. We are working on them together with our partners. So working on landing pages together with our partners allows us to increase our conversion rate, increase income of our partner, and increase our income also. And with partners, we can draw new unique landing pages.
Yeah, sounds good enough. And what about special promotions? I know some guys use like bonuses on landing pages, welcome bonuses, whatever. Up to your experience, are special promotions well for the registrations, and which
This is,
exactly?
sorry.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
this is a very interesting question. At the moment, I can say that we have removed no deposit bonus from our product, as we have received several thousand of players using this system, and now we are analyzing their payback and the effective of this promotion of this tool. And in general, I think we have a standard bonus policy for players, which allows us to improve our conversion rate from registration to deposit. And we don't overfeed our players with bonuses, and it's important thing. I will tell about it. And we have loot boxes, jackpots, other tools that turn our products into a place where people want to stay as they feel the game. And Softswiss helps us with it because they make new tools, and we're using these tools like loot boxes, jackpots. And but in my experience, there are two models of working with players: American and English. So the first is where you stuff the player with everything in a row, so as long he comes to you and stay. And in the second, you behave with restraint, offer necessary minimum, and do not follow the lead of bonus abusers. I will give a simple example you to understand how it works. Each person on this planet has his own product which he buys only at discount. And let's say it's washing powder. So when you constantly buy something at discount, you have no desire to buy it in a full cost. And therefore, as for me, the American model leads only to looters, but we would say we have a hybrid system.
yeah. Sure. I suppose no one in the industry are interested in bonus hunters, in these no deposit bonus players. I suppose there is no profit at all. Hybrid sounds good enough. And let's switch to the next part of the funnel, registration to first deposit. When people sign up, how do you get them to deposit more on your product?
We are a licensed product, so we use only honest methods of attracting players, and we don't directly influence the players in any way. We only motivate them with bonuses, activities on product, the product itself, and of course, as with registration, we have a team of testers, of local testers, who check that everything works well, and our PSP manager, which is engaged in improving the efficiency of payments. So since we are a white label product, we have some restrictions in this regard. And in addition to standard push notifications, mailings, calls, reactivations, first line support. And they're always in touch with players. They are ready to help them if they need some help. And I think the main thing it's our VIP support, and VIP support is much more interesting than first line support. And as for the push system and so on, I won't name the exact periods when they are sent, since everything depends on a huge amount of data. But rest assured, players receive the necessary notifications on time. They worked out at funnels in order to return players to the product. So processes are clear and they are working.
Yeah, looks like you have a good strategy and you try to adjust every part of the funnel. That's really great. And you also mentioned support. And as I know, support managers are a really important part of this process, especially when we talk about VIP clients, or I mean all these concierge services and so on. So let's talk about it in more details. How many VIPs do you usually have? Do you have a specific flow for the VIP clients and how it works?
Let's start who is VIP player in our opinion. In our opinion, a VIP player is a player who has made deposits in amount more than 2,000 euros. And I can't tell you the numbers, but the VIP support department is the largest department in our company. So I think you understand that VIP players, we have big amount, and there are the most people there in our VIP support department, since this department works 24 hours per day, 7 days a week. And I can compare this department with the work of the affiliate department, but affiliate department buys traffic, communicate with partners, while the work of VIP department is similar to them. Also, they spend money, they spend bonuses, so it means they can they buy attention of players. Also, but they do not really buy anything. They communicate with real people, big players who understand what a casino is, and and what they're doing here. So this is not a banal service. They are comparable to psychologists, to a friend. They listen to the players, give them gifts, communicate with them. And it is important thing that our VIP clients feel that our VIP managers are not communicating with them only for money, but because our VIP managers they really enjoy communicating with people. They are helping to solve like issues in their lives. For example, what color to dye your hair. And unlike mailings and other tools, traffic pays off thanks to the quality of traffic and of VIP support. So VIP support, it's really important thing.
Nice to hear you have a very friendly flow in support team. That's awesome. That's what the market needs. I'm sure about it. And do you see the difference in LTV from VIP clients to usual clients? What is the difference there up to your experience?
Of course, the LTV of VIP players reaches 25,000 euros or more per year, while the LTV of usual player is not more than 600 euros for the entire time of his life on the product. And it's significant, serious differences. And therefore, on average, each VIP player costs about 10,000 euros or more. So these players are very expensive.
Quite huge amount of money, yeah. And let's switch to another part of the business. Let's talk a little bit about traffic quality at your team, at your product. And how is the quality of traffic evaluated by advertisers such as Brofist?
hmm Of course, like all other advertisers, first of all, we are looking at NGR. NGR, it's our net gaming revenue. So this is the main indicator that catch your eye in the first place. And if payback per month is less than 30% for NGR, then you already have questions what is going on with traffic. But it is not only the main one. Just by looking on NGR, you can understand where to go next. What you need to look in order to properly evaluate the traffic. So, in addition, the amount of NGR, you also need to understand how much you paid for this traffic. So, your costs. Compare the costs also with the number of players, with the amounts of their deposits, and for what period of time the players showed such activity. Whether they are still playing and how many of them are playing still on the product, all of this, without diving into specific figures, are included in traffic quality assessment. So that's it.
Nice, nice. And what should the payback be? Does it depend on the traffic source the affiliate works with it?
Mm-hmm. Uh, Payback depends directly on the source. So when we are evaluating traffic for a correct conclusion, you need to understand what kind of source it was in order to compare the indicators with the average CR and average payback rates. So why does everyone want to buy only PPC and SEO traffic so much? Because this traffic is usually targeted and pays off much faster than the rest sources. Yes, it costs higher than Facebook, but depending on the transactions, these two sources pay off much faster. And the second question, why don't they buy only these two sources? Because the demand is much higher than the supply, and PPC traffic is sometimes sold much more expensive than it costs, and because of this, the payback period increase. It's because in real life you can buy this traffic by 300 maybe, but demand is very high and you need to pay 500. It's too much. And with SEO, you need to spend money on placement on websites, despite the fact the most deals they are by revenue share model. Placements are very expensive. And due to the lack of an opportunity to buy only these two sources, advertisers buy and test different sources whose payback is much longer than from PPC and SEO. For example, Facebook, as for me, the source is high quality, but the problem is exactly in partners who bring it to you, due to the fact as rule, we work with large teams with more than 50 people in it, and there is a problem with traffic quality control. And we begin to receive inappropriate traffic using prohibited methods of promoting our brands. And this is the main problem of this source. Few people can guarantee you something, and you can't always prove that you were given inappropriate traffic. So if we talk about numbers, then the average payback of PPC is about 3 months. SEO, depending on the transactions, can pay off in the first month, and Facebook is usually from 3 to 6 months. And traffic pays off. Traffic that pays off longer doesn't mean that this traffic is bad. There are many other factors affecting its payback. So depending on analytics, we also can buy traffic which pays off more than 6 to 12 months, depending on volume. So we buy traffic which pay back faster and longer, according to the volumes.
Awesome. Looks like you are totally in the digits. I like this way of thinking. So it seems that another indicator of how many players come from affiliate and how many of them deposited money. It's another indicator of successful business. And could you tell us more about the segments of players and who is included in them, and how do these segments help to make a decision? Tell us more about it, please.
hmm I think everyone understands perfectly that that not every player pays off. So we divide our players into three categories. First, it's players with one deposit. Second, it's players with two deposits, and third, it's players with three or more deposits. It means since the players from the third category with three or more deposits, they bring us our income, and it allows us to pay off our investment. So as rule, there are no more than 30% of such players. By looking at the number of players from a partner in each category, we can also make some conclusions about the quality of partners traffic. If we see that the amount of players with three or more deposits is lower than 30%, and each of players, depending on the category, receives unique notifications and bonuses, but the most important thing here is we are talked about it earlier, that percent of players goes to the VIP players, and since as rule it's about only 10% of players who pay off all investment invested in the traffic. It doesn't mean that every 10th player is a VIP player. It means that 10% of players which you have pays off other 90% which you buy.
Yeah, I know that high rollers like the heart of the gambling business, and that's awesome. That's awesome that you're hunting for them in different sources, and you never know which one works better, except
Yeah, that's
SEO
true.
and PPC, of course, because I suppose there are like bigger amount of such players. So, how does the activity of players affect evaluating traffic quality?
hmm it's directly affect in the quality of traffic is low, and analysis show that further purchase of the traffic won't generate the revenue. So when we stop buying it, if we doesn't feel income from this traffic, and what about LTV, ARPU, how much time players spend on the product, what activities they have, what they do, whether they respond to tools of their recommendation on our product. All this is deeply affect the assessment of traffic quality and indicators.
We moved here to the big waters to discuss new ways to promote different products. What is the connection between new untapped marketing areas and big water? Blue oceans, that is how untapped new marketing areas called in the well-known book Blue Ocean Strategy, written by Chan Kim. So, what are those untapped marketing areas? As you know, Google and Facebook ads are widely used by different marketers all over the world to promote their products. But there is one crucial disadvantage. These ad platforms has a lot of restrictions. We are here to show you the way how to promote products in your areas with no restrictions. We talk about push ads. Push ads are blue oceans for many marketers now. Push ad is a format that pops up on a screen device and looks like a notification from a messenger. That's why it fights banner blinders, and also this is the way push ad gets higher CTR rates. Push ads has huge volumes all over the world. For example, in RichAds you can get 5 billion impressions a day. And as you know, there is no restrictions. Almost ready to try push ads? Check the link in the description. Let's switch to clients and commission types. What commission types do you usually choose? What commission types, do you prefer, and what commission types your clients prefer most? And do you see any trends in this question?
This is my favorite question. Every time when somebody asks me about it, I have smile because every advertiser prefers to work by revenue share model, but it's unreal in our world to work only by revenue share. Most often, of course, everyone wants to work on a CPA. Everything depends on the source, but this payment model is the most popular. After CPA comes, of course, it's hybrid and the revenue share. Why does everyone wants to work with a bigger CPA deal? Because everyone wants to earn more at the moment, and not for a long, and they don't plan for a long time. So big hybrid deals take the longest payoff, since in addition to a large CPA rate, you also pay the revenue share and your payback of traffic with this model greatly increased down. So your payback is much longer than average CPA. And as rule, partner like about trends. As rule, partners from Western Europe prefer to work on hybrid and revenue share models, while the CPA part covers their cost of attracting players and revenue share is their income. While in Eastern European partners prefer only CPA as much as possible, and if they take hybrid deals, then there is an unreasonably large part of CPA. So, in my opinion, Western Europe teams, they work in like big marketing agencies who want to long-term relationships.
Yeah, that sounds really interesting, that part of analytics, because I think revenue share in long term it will bring you really more. I'm sure what I'm talking about because I've been working on the side of casino before, so I saw statistics similar to yours, and I see that in long term revenue share is much more better. So sometimes it's hard to understand why the guy would like to choose CPA or CPL instead of it. So sounds like losing money, but that's fine. Why not? It's like market trends. And how do these different strategies affect your financial stability as a business?
As rule, deals on a revenue share bring income in the first month. So if you don't take the costs of posting on size, since we share the percent of NGR with a partner. So if we like have 1,000 NGR, he will receive 500, so 500 in our pocket. And the percent reaches 50. Also, CPA deals pay off in a time depending on the country and the source, but hybrid big deals, for example, like 500 euros plus 50% of NGR, usually pays off the longest because in addition to a huge CPA part, you also give 50% of your income of your NGR, and for such campaigns to pay off, activity must be very high.
Mm, interesting. And what kind of clients do you focus on, and how do you attract them? I mean, do you visit conferences or launch ad campaigns to find new potential clients? Which advertising channels attract the most desired customers for your business?
Mm-hmm. That's a good question. We work with all types of teams and affiliate programs, but of course, we prefer marketing agencies and large teams. Here, of course, I would better invite our head of marketing to department to report on how and what he is doing, but I will try to answer for him. We participate in online and offline conferences, sponsor there and other various events in iGaming field. So our employees write articles on the topic of iGaming, which also helps us to attract new partners. And in addition to developing social media network, we also shoot like reels, small videos, TikToks, which upload to the network. And recently we have tested a new animation format. You can check it in our Instagram. In general, our guys use, if not all, the almost all channels to attract new partners.
Awesome, great to hear it. It's really very important to try, at least to try all marketing channels to attract the players to a brand. And I'm glad to hear that you're sharing your expertise with the market because there are a lot of brands who doesn't do it. So it's crucial to share your experience, to share your expertise with customers. It helps the market in general to grow. That's a really good way you chosen. And let's switch to another part of the business, return on investments, and how much investment does the business require, and how they were divided between departments at the very beginning.
Since we have started than 2 years ago, we needed much less investment than the market requires now. So I would say that in order to launch your product, you need at least $1.5 million right now, and it's easy and cheap to set up a casino. All the money will go to the first 6 months of traffic purchase and the employee salaries. As soon as you start buying traffic, it will be it will generate your money. It will bring it money to you, and in first months. And the only question is the quality of traffic and how it's payback.
Yeah, that's like the core of the business to pay back the
Yeah, yeah.
traffic. So, did the business break even, or and how long did it take to do it?
The launch of Desert was extremely successful. This brand paid off in the first 6 months. Then there was it was another time, but as for the current realities, the payback for each brand, taking into account operating expenses, salaries, and others, offices, it is at least 1 to 2 years.
Sounds like an appropriate way because I've been talking to guys from SEO and they also told me one or a little bit more years to pay back your investments. And if you reinvest money, uh, so payback may take even longer time. So let's talk about all your products. What are the product margins and how long did it take to become a margin for each of your brands?
As I told, Desert starts bring us money in 6 months, and all the main income in our company is generated by Desert. Millionaire is about to pay off, uh, and Billy Billion is the freshest brand, so we are still investing money in it, and we see positive dynamics that the Millionaire and Billy Billion are becoming also big brands as Desert and starting generate good volumes. Good volumes, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I hear like you seems you're trying to reinvest in new products in new growth. So the question is it your main strategy, or do you use any other marketing strategies also to grow your brands?
hmm Yeah, as I said, all the income that we have with Desert is reinvested back into it and into other brands like Millionaire Billy Billion, other projects, and of course to the team. Since employee development is also one of the key things, and I'm not talking about only the growth of employees' incomes, but also about their training, about their new skills, and new employers with a cool experience whose development is expensive, but it pays off quickly. And of course, we invest money in media of our brands to increase the growth of organic players.
And what are your plans for the next year? Are you going to add new products, or add new gears, or invest in anything else?
Yeah, I won't disclose anything yet, but at least I think we are thinking about two more brands, many new countries, and other projects are in work. So we are actively recruiting new people in our team in order to have some time uh, to be sure that we have power to make all of our products.
Awesome. Looks like you're the young team on the market, but you still have this experience from your founders, from your last 4 or 5 years. Sounds awesome. You pay attention on every piece of this funnel, on every decision you make. I wish you good luck with it, and I would like to switch to another part, which I'm mostly excited about, to be honest, because it's if we talk about players, and it's the heart of the business. So this heart can have some diseases from time to time, and by diseases I mean fraud or scammers, because unfortunately there are a lot of such guys in the market who do such things to you, to your business. I mean, not you in particular, but the industry in general. So I suppose you face a lot of problems with fraud as an advertiser, and I'd like to discuss this question in more details with you. And the first question in this part will be about the definition of fraud and gambling industry, because we have viewers on our channel from different industries. Let's start a little bit from scratch, from the beginning. Let's explain the definition of the fraud. What do you mean by saying fraud, and what are the most common ways to fraud in iGaming industry up to your experience?
Mhm. Okay, also you can read about my articles about fraud, but let's start what I mean when I'm talking about fraud. Speaking of fraud, I mean that all attempts to violate the terms of copywriting in any way and deceive the advertiser. So there is a fraud on the part of both partners and of players. And the most started in deception when attracting traffic. You are either giving inappropriate traffic or special shimmies are used to attract players by deceiving people or leading them astray. All these methods and sources that are prohibited and prescribed in our team. People buy cards, proxies, browsers, everything necessary in order to try to bypass the anti-fraud system. In order to emulate the behavior of players, they simply spend about maybe $40 to get payout for a player of an average of $200. So their ROI is very high. And yeah. But it's only one of method. There are much more elegant ones that you can't recognize. For example, one of source, since you need special tools to do it, to check creatives of partners, they often begin to use prohibited methods of attracting new players in their creatives, or they can pay people to make deposits on your product. So as not to worry about imitating the behavior of players. So they pay money to real people. And very often teams that have brought low quality traffic, after you have suspended work with them, are looking for options to continue bringing you low quality traffic, and they come to you from affiliate programs. So they continue to make money on you. They like create new names, new teams, new Skype and Telegram accounts, and continue bring you low quality traffic. For you don't want to pay. And there are a lot of such cases when you stop working with somebody and they're trying to like trade that they are a new team and they want to work with you because their friends told him that you pay for traffic and you are interested in it.
Yeah, they put so much effort in trying to fraud or scam your products and gaming industry in general. And it looks like there are a lot of intelligent ways to do it. As I mean, what I hear from you, and just guess what will be if they put all these efforts in legal way of attracting players. Industry will grow much faster, and I'm sure this hunting for a short-term big margin, if they invest these efforts in long-term relationships, it will be much more profitable even for them. So I cannot understand it, to be honest. Why do they act in such way? So, and if we talk about fraud, how much fraud have you detected in 2023?
According to the anti-fraud system, in general, in the market of internet, not only in iGaming, it's about 30% of all traffic is fraud. In 2023, we had enough cases with different types of fraud, and we don't focus on it. We don't count how many cases we have, but within the growth of skills in our team of our employees, the percent of fraud is greatly reduced.
Mm. Okay, so do you mean reduced to what? Yeah, I mean, do you see any trends comparing to the previous year? It's reducing to the previous year or to what?
Reduces to the previous year exactly, and reduced to the teams. There are not so big amount of teams who are using this method of fraud right now. So people understand that this way is going to destroy this market, and I think these people who were frauding, they now have enough money to start good marketing agencies. So I know cases when people ended their fraud career and they have enough money to start honest cooperation with good traffic.
That's funny. I wish I'm glad for these guys for sure, but I'd wish that our viewers will find another ways to create your like first capital to invest in legal business instead of fraud in something. So have you noticed any connection between where the affiliate comes from and the quality of traffic, and how do you deal with these trends if you detected them?
We have learned at dialogue stage to assess how risky it is to launch with this partner. And if we see red flags in communication with him, we don't launch traffic with them. Red flags, I mean, when they are spamming, they are like not sharing information which you need. They just, oh, bro, just give me a link. I will start traffic. It doesn't matter how I will bring you players. So just give me the link. I will start. You will see. This is a red flag for me. As rule, if a new shim on market appears, my friends from the market tell me about it, and we know in advance how to warn ourselves against trying to deceive us. And as rule, the market is cycle, and everything new is a well forgotten old thing. And also scammers come up with new schemes, and it is most often always the modernization of old schemes.
Yeah, exactly. And how do you identify fraud? What tools do you use for that?
Um, uh, Everything is simple. In addition to the anti-fraud system C-Score, this company found us. They offered us their soft, their service, and they're working with a couple of other advertisers on the market. So they have like close seller department, and you can find them and just start working with them, because they are growing in a community of advertisers and sharing information between us. And in addition to that, this anti-fraud system and the help from platforms anti-fraud, we have our own dashboards that highlights our partners who need to be checked not only through anti-fraud, but also manually. Among other things, communications with players also sometimes reveals dishonest partners who brought players from with the help of prohibited tools and methods. Players write complaints, talk about how they came to the product, and so we track dishonest partners from our players. So players share information about advertising creatives and methods.
Nice, nice. Going back, you mentioned support, VIP support, and as I see, it's really helpful in this part because you can figure out many fraud cases just chatting with your clients. That's awesome. And let's go to the algorithm part of this fraud detection. How do automatic algorithms identify fraud?
Mm-hmm. I think anti-fraud standards platform, they are building like dashboards. They give a fairly detailed feedback if they identify traffic as fraud, and but we don't publish this data and do not disclose evaluation methods since we don't know them all. Because if we knew it, we would simply create our own platform and don't pay anyone money for it. And I think they can be trusted, because what is the point of lying them if they would not reveal anything from it? It would be the strange since there is a lot fraud.
Yeah, in the very beginning, you mentioned that you work on white label, I mean Softswiss infrastructure. And how does it help you with fraud detection?
Softswiss helps by transmitting information about high-risk partners. They helps prevent fraud on the part of players, and they have signals us about partners who are worth checking information about them. If complaints are received about the team who from the market or from other advertisers, the platform collects feedback about these teams, checks it, and then put the partner on the blacklist. And then Softswiss gives us information from time to time about these partners with whom cooperation can be risky. And you need to think twice to start cooperation with such partner.
And what user behavior can be considered as suspicious up to experience?
In fact, anything that cannot or can be said about player within the framework of evaluation of one partner can be considered suspicious, and then look for the similar behavior from other partners.
Interesting, interesting. And what services do you use for these needs? Do these services give you the full picture of how they detect fraud? Also, if not, can the services be trusted in such case?
Yeah, I think I already answered for this question. Like C-score dashboards, they identify traffic as fraud by their own indicators. They don't share their data. We receive report from them that, guys, this traffic is fraud. See these indicators. Be careful. Think what to do with this partner. So Anti-fraud system are very closed, so we can't even understand how they do it. Because, as I said, if we know, we will build our own platform.
Yeah, yeah. The main question here is, do they try to trick you and fraud you like clients, or they do, work in the honest way? So that's kind of like to think about. And how often do you use these tools like Cscore? And do you use it for each client or not, or just in suspicious cases?
Regardless of the trust to the partner, everyone is checked. Everyone is checked. It doesn't matter who you are. We treat new partners more carefully, but no matter how big the team is and no matter how much it brings traffic to us, there will be as much control over them as they say. They say, trust but check.
Yeah, interesting. And we already like covered this topic, but I would like to discuss it a little bit in more details. I mean, the case when your support team communicate with players. So, how do they communicate exactly? How do they detect fraud and at this stage? And tell us a little bit more about this process, maybe some examples if possible.
Yeah, I really like this part of work of our VIP support customers. Uh, the players themselves very often reveal the partner who tried to deceive us with their questions and messages. For example, a player can send us the creative that lead him to the product, and there will be prohibited methods of attraction. Or the player will tell us that he made a deposit on our product under pressure, and he can tell you that he did it for a reward. So that's it. Work and communication with players, another source how you can track fraud.
Yeah, and as we discussed, you do not only like checking with C-score or checking with your support team. Uh, as I remember, you mentioned that you also do like manual checking. So, in what cases do you do such inspection, and how it works exactly?
Um, this can be compared with the work of Sherlock Holmes, because in such cases, when you understand that the traffic is fraud, but the anti fraud system cannot normally issue a conclusion, you unload dozens of analyzes along the stream and start looking for the most strange behavior of players, the correlation between them, compare it to other partners, and finally find the proof where the partner got caught on fraud.
Hmm. And how much time does this manual check usually takes? Because I've heard about cases when it took an operator or a casino like 1, 2, or 3 months, and during this time, an affiliate is waiting for such a long period of time. So, how much time does it usually take to check this manually?
That's true. We had the same case last year where we spent about 2 months to realize that traffic from our big partner was fraud. And one reliable check that reveals something usually is enough. But it happens that you need to double check everything 2 or 3 times to confirm your findings in order to be as objective as possible. And I think in average it took about 1 week, because you need to check a lot of information.
Yeah, sounds fair enough because it's enormous big data. If you, even if you talk about small partners, but if you talk about big partners with hundreds or thousands of leads per month, it's really hard to check it manually. So I consider that's why that takes such a big period of time from time to time. I mean, in some cases, and let's talk about differences in fraud detection processes. As you mentioned, you've been working with an affiliate network before on the part of affiliate network, and now you work for casino operators. So, what is the difference between fraud detection between casino operator and CPA network?
In my experience, the detection of fraud on the side of affiliate program is limited only to the evaluation of conversion rate and feedback from advertiser. They themselves are not really able to conduct any analysis. And therefore, the entire assessment and detection of fraud falls on shoulders of advertisers. So only we really can detect this information. They can like ask us about it, but they are not really able to check anything because data it's like not for all. So we can't share information about our players. So only we can check it.
Yeah, looks like it's one more reason to work directly with an advertiser or casino operator to solve such issues if they appear in a short period of time without like CPA network or whatever. And how to warn yourself in advance from negative cases and money losses. What do you do for that?
Mhm. Let's talk about the evaluation of partners. So, how to warn yourself in advance from negative cases and money losses. Nobody likes it. In addition to the red flags in communicating,
communication with these partners that we pay attention to. We also conduct a survey about experience of a team with whom they worked. If possible, we check this data. We ask them for statistics, whether they have it, what they can say about it, and how honest they are with us. So there was cases when we were provided with fake screenshots of statistics, and we were lied from partner about success with our other advertisers. We just wrote to the advertisers since they are our friends, and they confirmed that they didn't have such a statistic on their part, and this partner was trying to lie about his statistic with another advertiser. Of course, a test cap is another way to check the partner's words in practice. So show me what you can, and how high quality traffic he gives. Of course, this is not always enough, and the system is not perfect. It happens that we only understand while a while that it was wrong to stop this partner, but this is the cost of the system. There are always risks. So you need to double check, triple check anything to be sure that you make right decision.
Yeah, this part with checking fake statistic with another brands, it's quite usual process in our market because for sure our market has big money, big investments, big funds. But to be honest, it's quite little if we talk about employees, companies, and teams who work with each other. So everyone like knows each other very well, and when you're trying to fake somebody with fake statistic, that's just fun. That's very strange. Why would they still do it? So, if we talk about partners, do you use a hold or a specific period of time to test the quality of traffic? And what is this period? And what are you looking at during it?
we have a standard reconciliation period on the 10th of each month. We evaluate the traffic from the previous months and then we make a payment. So these are standard periods of reconciliation and payments for partners who bring us volume. There are special conditions with the payment period of 2 times a month partners who bring us really big volume and quality traffic. So we look at activity of players, conversion rate, payback, all the same indicators we are talked about today. And if we talk about external KPI, we have KPI that traffic should pay off by the amount of deposits by 50% in two first weeks. Honestly, the traffic that does not pass this KPI in first 2 weeks will most likely never pay off, so we're gonna lose money.
Hmm. Interesting. And for example, a marketer successfully passed this KPI test period. Do you continue to check him each month? And what do you do if the KPI not reached the goal in some months?
Mhm. Even if we switch from test to the full work after test, we do not stop closely monitoring all indicators of a partner. But on the contrary, we begin to pay more attention to it, to him, since we are already talking about volumes, and it is important to react really very quickly to any deviations. So we always monitor traffic, and it won't be possible to get approved for large transactions without control. So as rule, KPI is no longer there. And if they apply an individual approach to solving this issue every time, increasing the periods for which he must pass the KPI, for example, and so on, so that despite the problem with payback, the partner feels comfortable and understand that he will receive the payment fairly.
Okay, sounds like it's crucial to have high quality traffic to be in a good relationship with your operator, with your advertiser. I think that's not only about iGaming, that's about any operator, any advertiser in any industry. So let's talk about like best traffic and what traffic will be 100% accepted by Brofist.
I think traffic that performed well on the test, which we are ready to purchase according to our analytics and our metrics, which begins to give the volume of good players. I think you understand what I mean. And in simple words, the one which we see the prospect according to our analytics, or the one that brings us real income.
What does it mean to bring revenue exactly in this case?
Um, I think we don't take into account of test results because their payment is not always guaranteed for the several reasons like fraud, player activity, or the non-fulfillment of KPI. But in some situations, an advertiser can pay for traffic that doesn't pay off but has good player activity. So he will buy it for the future as he understands that he earns only from serious VIP players. And if there is a probability that such traffic from this partner will come, it will be paid. And by the revenue, I mean the differences between NGR and traffic costs. If the difference is positive, then the traffic has already paid off and for us, and we bring the revenue.
And how to understand this?
Despite the fact that I'm convinced that payback of traffic is 80% depends on its quality, so partner need to bring you high quality traffic, it is possible and necessary to be able to work with bad traffic. This is traffic that pays off for a longer time, more risky and sometimes expensive tests, but there is no getting away from this. You can't stop working on it. You need to understand how to work with it, and this is where closer cooperation with partner helps. where you discuss his creatives, applications, approaches, and help him raise not only his income but also improve payback. Even a partner has brought you low quality traffic on purpose. You sit down, talk with them, and then you make fair decision about this and continue working, but on new terms.
How often does this happen, and does this strategy of trust in a second time justify itself?
As practice shows, unfortunately, not always. But still, there is a more positive cases, and I will say yes. I will say yes.
Okay, okay. Thank you for such a productive interview. I suppose our viewers will like it because there were a lot of insights. So I would like to ask you one final question. And what advice would you give to those guys who want to have brands on the Softswiss platform like you? What should they be ready for, and what should they pay close attention to?
Hmm. I will tell them that they need to spend money on competent employees with high skills, since cool specialists cost a lot. You need to be ready for everything, really for everything, and you need the team to be really flexible and learn to react quickly to changes. So when one country stop working, you need to immediately understand where you need to buy traffic, and you need to pay more attention to exactly how and what your product offers to players and what kind of traffic you buy and where from you buying this traffic. So you need to pay more attention to traffic.
Okay, thank you. That's all what we have for today. Taras, thank you very much for your
Thank
time,
you. Thank you.
for sharing
Thank you.
your experience. And dear viewers, thanks for being with us today. Watch the other episode of Ads and Grants on RichAds YouTube channel. We have at least 9 interviews already with the industry experts, and we will be recording more for you in the near future. Uh, Feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel below and click the bell icon not to miss any new videos. Stay tuned for the next video. Bye bye.